Hey everybody, it's the Redstone Wizard here again, bringing you another Redstone tutorial. This time what I got for you is probably one of the best non-stackable sorters in the game. Yep, we are dealing with an Allay sorting system. So let's just take a look at what we've got. Now, for those that don't know, at least currently on Bedrock, Allays cannot be put into minecarts to be able to pick up items. So we have them just floating right there. They'll stay in there. There's no way for them to get out. And I can still change what they get. Not a problem. Just by coming up on the side of them, climbing up in here, and taking what they have. Each one has a different thing. And I've got all these chests empty. Just so that we'll be able to just have them empty. And each one has a different item. And an Allay will remember a note block that they hear that's close to them, especially for using the wool to prevent them from hearing another one, because that one won't hear this note block, especially if I do that. But that's beside the point, and it takes 30 seconds for them to lose interest. So we play a note less than every 30 seconds, and it has to play. You can't put anything above it, or this would have been a lot simpler. And they can only pick up items in less than over 30 seconds, even given by a dropper. And they can sort out things like colored shulker boxes. Like I have this one with nothing but white. So let's take a look at. Let's just take a look at it work. I've got a bunch of just random items in. There's some items that the Allays won't even touch, so we don't have to worry about it. The system, as soon as it gets items, will actually start and hold off until either it's empty or and automatically start. It won't take any other items until it finishes processing each section. So we've got the first one went in there, which is our diamond helmet guy. See? And it will take the enchanted ones too. So it's more of a item type sorter than a item sorter. So, and like this Allay here, the shulker box Allay, will take all white shulker boxes, renamed, full, empty, it doesn't matter. They'll just take it. And it continues to process until all the items in the chest are gone. And it's going to continue to do that until they're gone. And you just got to keep it loaded. And they take them. And as soon as the note block sounds, they will throw them out. The range can be a little finicky. Sometimes it has to be right up on them. They pick a block away. It can get a little wonky, but they pick it up pretty fast, and you don't have to worry about it. Diamond pick right here. So I'm just going to I am just going to speed this along for you guys, so you guys can just see how it works. So when this is done, I will be right back. Okay, that was just the last item. It took a decent amount of time to do them all. It was a double chest, and the timer isn't exactly fast, but it will make sure that they will not lose anything. So if we look in here, we've got a bunch of things that weren't part of the system. None of these were in the system. We got 5 crossbows, 5 totems, 5 sets of boots, 5 sets of pants, 5 chest plates, 5 helmets, 6 pickaxes, 3 swords, and 5 shulker boxes. Now, I can hit that just because, yeah, nothing's going to change. And that's actually all that was in that double chest. And they all got sorted out into their proper locations. Now, if you want to speed it up with with same item types, or like let's say you're running a bunch of bunch of shulker boxes in it, you can add multiples of the same Allay holding that item. So I can give 4 of them the white shulker box and run one every couple of run one every about 10 seconds or so, and they will probably pick them all up. I haven't tested on timing for that, so it's going to be so you might have to slow it down from 10 seconds to 15, just increase the time a bit. But what do you say, guys? Let's get to building this thing. Okay, guys, we're back, and everything we need to build that is inside the white shulker box. So let's take a look. Now, the way I have it set up is the exact same timing we have for that one. And I don't have to, and the cells are extremely easy to make. So, let's just take a look, and I don't have all the items. I realize that because I am missing some rails and a minecart. And you can get on these, you'll get back. So, what we're going to need is at least a double chest, 2 target blocks. One of them will be used per slice, per section of it. 7 hoppers will make that 8 hoppers, and you can add more, but 1 per slice. 4 repeaters, 9 comparators, 8 pieces of 8 pieces of glass. Not all of it has. Some places have to be glass. You can use slabs or glowstone, just any transparent block. And this was me working on it, but for some parts you're going to need at least some ice, and it's typically just a couple of blocks per slice. So 5 observers, 18 dust, 4 sticky pistons, 2 droppers, 25 random items, doesn't matter, but we need 25, 37 building blocks. Might need a couple more because we're going to use some of them for redstone for that. 7 redstone torches, 2 wool blocks, and some of them you'll only need 1, but you'll need at least 2 wool blocks to start with. 3 slabs, and the slabs are very important. And in fact, actually, yeah, I'll explain why. 1 note block per slice, and a trapdoor. So, and obviously, we're going to need an Allay and any item that you want them to have. So I'm just going to come over here, and I'm going to take a shulker box. So the first thing we're going to do is, let me open this up, right? We are going to take and place our tack dice down. All right, and you're just going to add as much space as you want for your cells. Okay? Then we are going to take our slabs, We're going to place a slab here and here. And every other one, we're going to place a slab. The slabs will allow us access to our allays if we want to change them out at any point. Then we are going to grab our hoppers, our note blocks, and our target blocks. We're going to place a temporary block down with a hopper. And we'll do that for every single one. I'm just going to bypass it. And also we are going to need our trapdoors for this. So we're going to place a trapdoor and open it where it is flush with there. Take your note block, right on the hopper, place the note block. Underneath the note block, place a target block. Grab your wool blocks. And on the sides, just place it. So when you do the next one, you can reduce it by 1 every time. And you'll end up with this pattern here, where the wool and the bottom and the top slab are in line. The note block and the trapdoor is in line, and that's fine. Then we will grab our glass or whatever you want to be able to block off the water. Okay, so now to get our allays in, you can set them up here. You can grab yourself a rail, place it down, get your minecart, place it on there, get an allay out, and give them a random item, and then just throw the item right on the minecart, and they'll end up in there. And then you can actually just, with an empty hand, take it out and grab your items back. So we'll throw one of those out. And then we're just going to break it. You can take that, come to the back here, open it, and close it, and then open it up again. Take a slab, place it on top, and on the side, break your minecart. Now that allay is stuck in there. He ain't going to go anywhere. And it's that simple. And you can, using the go grab that trick, helps out a lot. So now we will grab our regular building blocks. And we're just going to place, and we're just going to make a line. And we can dust all of this because just like that. We can dust it all. The target blocks will power the note blocks with no issue. And that's fine. And so that right there is how we get our lays. And like I said, if you want to, you can actually just get your lays, get them in, and then program them. You'll pick it up at every time. Whoa. Yeah, you gotta. It could get a little troublesome. Trapdoors. Yeah. So. Yeah, get back over here. And if you make that mistake, just lock your hopper. And I can. Yeah, we'll get him back in there. It could happen. But yeah, it's more of the... Yeah, just make sure that if you when you get him in there, you don't touch that trapdoor anymore. Or you'll have allays running out, and then you'll have to fight to get them back in. So, for now... I will get the allay in a nice, safe spot. I'll be right back, though. Okay, set the Allay to a nice little safe spot. I'm not going to tell you where because that's my little secret. But yeah, so what we're going to do next is we're going to take and start building the brain, building the circuitry that controls timing and everything. So what we need to do is we need a transparent block right next to that dust, and next to this we need a solid block because we are going to throw a repeater on top of the transparent block. We'll grab our sticky pistons and our observers, and we will place the sticky piston going down with the observer on its face. So when this pulls up, it's going to pulse, activating all the note blocks. And if you decide to increase the size, all you have to do is, let me just increase this just a little more. When you get to the end, make sure that one, you do it right in between two target blocks. Just grab a repeater and throw it in there, and you'll be good. That's how easy the expansion is, and it's quite useful if you need to expand it a little more. So, but from here, we're going to take and encase all of this, and that one stays out for now. And we will actually that and a block there. So we'll throw a torch there, a 4-tick repeater here. Grab your dust, 2 there, 1 there, and we'll grab our comparators. 1 going into the block there, 1 going out. This is our comparator decay clock because we're making it a clock. And we can, in fact, actually, we should replace that with glass because we are going to throw the sticky piston right there. Place that up, and now this is every time that this finishes, it gives a short pulse and activates the note block, which then the Allay respond to. If I didn't have the power, they respond to that. So now from this piston, we're going to go out of block and throw a torch on it. Now this will stop the clock, which is what we need if we're not going to have too many issues. And then we're just going to build a 2x3 platform. Dust on these, comparator, doesn't matter which side goes one way, but we're creating a shorter clock than this one. This one will actually be less time. We can actually bust that out and just run along there. That works just fine. And then we're going to pick a side. We're going to throw at least a 2-tick repeater there. And we're just going to hang off on this right now because we're going to grab our... In fact, actually, we need 3 droppers for this, not 2. So we're going to place a dropper there. We are going to throw in a hopper going into it and a hopper going into the side of that. We're going to cover that up. And honestly, just get yourself some water because you're going to need water anyways, and throw water there. And then and you can actually line up, you can even go from there, and then the next one, if it's like there, that's fine. But you're just going to line up your water streams to cover up and make sure that the items can flow all the way to the very end. And that's what happens when I make water mistakes. So, yeah, oh well. Okay, so now we're just going to go back and grab our solid blocks. Underneath the dropper, we're going to place a solid block. We are going to throw an observer going into the solid block with 1 going down. A solid block in front of on top of the observer next to the dropper with a comparator reading the contents of the dropper. This will activate the dropper. Perfect. That's what we needed to do. Then we're going to take a solid block, place it on top of the, place it right next to the comparator. Place a solid block on the bottom dropper with a torch on it. And then you grab yourself your storage. Grab a temp storage technically, because we're going to put double chest, and you can place hoppers anywhere you want to be able to collect the items. I just recommend having like a solid a block here to be able to push it. But yeah, I recommend having some type of storage here, even if it's a little more extended. It's fine; it'll work perfectly. A solid, any block you want there, a solid block in a catty corner. Grab yourself your comparator, place it there with a torch. Grab yourself your droppers. One block from the below the torch. We'll place the dropper. We're going to place a hopper there. A hopper there going into the bottom hopper going into the dropper. The second hopper going into the hopper. The hopper above the dropper going into the hopper. That's going into the hopper. That's going into the dropper. Hopefully that made sense. So yeah, we were pretty much making a big loop. And we'll throw a random item in the locked hopper. Grab a solid, grab any block you want and put it reading out the bottom hopper with a solid block next to the torch. A comparator reading the bottom hopper with your observer, with an observer and a sticky piston. The sticky piston is getting powered by the comparator through the block, with the observer pointing up, powering the torch when it comes back, which will release one item into the hopper, which, if this hopper was locked, the item would stay there. But because this hopper is not locked, it will pull the item out and send it into the dropper, which then will launch it out into our Allay sorter. That right there is this will only activate if there is items inside the chest, and only if there's items inside the chest. So now we need to create a reset. So we'll place a torch in line with the comparator there. Take a block and another block at a catty corner from where the torch is. We're going to place a comparator going into the block that's with the torch on it. A dust next to the comparator powered by the torch with a target block next to it, which the dust will be redirected. A torch on top of the target block. Grab yourself some hoppers, and we're going to put them together, facing each other, with 24 items in one of them, and it will reset automatically, and it will hold until an item goes through. This is a variable length pulse extender, which is very useful. You need at least a 2-tick delay if you're going to use this for something else. Now, to create the input, we're going to place a block reading this back hopper with a comparator, a solid block in front of it, a solid block in the bottom, and going towards our control circuitry, we're going to place a transparent block in the middle. We'll bust out that bottom one, add a dust, grab a redstone torch. Underneath the transparent block, we'll place the torch with a sticky piston holding and pulling the torch, a dropper, an observer underneath the dropper with a block on top, right below the dropper. So when this pulses, it's going to reset the line. Then all you have to do is just line these up. After you throw a repeater here, you can add more delay. I recommend a lot of delay for this, and then just dust everything else up. And there we go. And now we're done. So if I throw in a white shulker and a bucket, the white shulker will be dispensed, and it'll go into this hopper. And yeah, this is where your chests come in. So this is whatever type of storage you want. They will all go there. And yeah, we lost our bucket because I already went off to the side. But if I throw those in, it'll still continue to count down. And this whole thing is just to make sure that if you have a long one, you might actually want to extend this one or this one. In fact, actually easier to extend this one because look at all that space you have. You'll be able to extend it even longer, circling it around and using it however you want. Bye, target block. But yeah, so that's pretty much how the Allay sorter is put together. It is very useful for non-stackables, and having something like using it for a shulker sorter. So 16 Allays separate, no, 17 Allays, you'll be able to separate out all the different shulker boxes you have, and then having a shulker box chest there would actually solve that problem. And then you have a full shulker sorter with bare minimum. And if you increase the number of these, you can actually increase the number and decrease the speed in this hopper. Decrease the number of items in the hopper. I'll probably do some testing later on and try to maximize the speed for figure out the proper speed, but this actually works out pretty well with no issues. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down in the comment section. If it's a major issue, I recommend joining my Discord. Links to that will be in the description. If you want to support me, you can subscribe. But you guys, this is the Redstone Wizard. Enjoy building.